Good morning, Arizona. Kyle Danielson here, and welcome to Do It All Danielson. What? Arizona? That's right, I'm down here with a handful of friends to find our riches here in Yavapai County. So stick around for our adventure today. You're not going to want to miss this. Alright, so let me introduce you to the crew here. We have Greg here. Mike, he's my dad. And Oli, he's my dad's brother. We're going to set up here in just a little bit and start working the creeks here. Hopefully we find some good stuff today. The crew and I are going to be dividing and conquering, checking numerous spots along the river here. This isn't what I'm usually used to. I'm used to flowing water, so we had to haul our own water in order to process all the dirt here. I'm going to start right down here where I see some cracked up bedrock. Start digging the dirt out, and hopefully we'll find something right away. So this video might be a super long one. We're going to be out here for quite a handful of days prospecting. So we'll see if it's a full video or if it's a half video. We'll just see how it all pans out. Corny joke. You stop that. Greg's down the way working on stuff. Dad's up the way looking for stuff. And Oli, I think, went around looking for another spot to work. I've got my first bucket load full of material, so we'll take it up to our wash plant and start running it. So prospecting is all trial and error, as you know. So we got to readjust our whole system here because the pump is not keeping up, getting plugged up with materials. So give us just a minute. We'll reevaluate this. All right, quick little readjust. And we have a bucket that the silt flows into and the finer silt flows into. So hopefully we won't plug up the pump this time around. And we got a bunch more material to run, so we'll get cracking at it. This looks like our pump's slowing down a little bit. There we go. Now it's starting to keep up with it. It's a muddy mess, ain't it? Well, those first couple of pans of material didn't have much of anything in there. Teeny tiny little stuff. We're gonna end up trying another spot here just to see if we can have any luck. Ooh, I hear some guys with shovels digging around. Might be my dad and Oli. Let's go check up on them. Yeah, see that they dug a deep hole.
Yeah, they went under the tree, into the roots. I'm just on the edge of the tree roots here.
Yeah. Oli came back with some pretty good stuff. He came back with one pan, a shovel full of stuff, and there was some flour in it, so that's hopeful. My dad came back with another bucket full of stuff, so we're gonna run this one, see if we have any better luck. Okay, a couple of tiny little brilliant flakes in there, and then beyond what the scope of the camera can actually do, there's some flour. So we're on to something. We'll keep going back to that spot there. Cool. Well, of course I go for a random little hole in the river and check that out. That's pretty. And of course the snuffer bottle is back at camp, so I'm gonna have to go back to camp. Nah, not too far at all. Yeah, get my exercise for today, right?
Right.
Ooh, ah. But now that I've done that random spot and I found that there's quite a bit of flower gold, it could be that we have our sluice box set at too extreme of an angle. So this next run, I'm gonna adjust it up, see if we get better results. But yeah, a lot of flower gold in that just one pan. I didn't even fill the pan up all the way. So something tells me we might be doing something wrong. We'll fix it. I pulled a bunch of stuff out of this hole right here and actually found quite a bit. I didn't even dig down that far. Come over and take a look.
I can see it from here without my glasses. Mm-hmm. All right, you want me to dig a bunch out of there?
Yeah. Yeah. Snuffer this up real quick. So yet again, out of that same hole, you can see it right there. Yeah, that might be a good spot. What say you?
Well, here's what I'm doing.
Oh, I see. You're just getting a bunch of concentrate. Yeah, there could be some good stuff in there.
I mean, there's a tiny bits of glitter in there.
Mm-hmm. Cool. We'll give her a shot then, eh? You can always tell where my dad sets up camp, because he's got the loud retro music bumping. But now that I think about it, it might make it kind of hard to edit this video now because there's music in the background. YouTube, don't copy strike me, please. All right, there we go. Cool. That's some nice stuff. This will be my last bucket for the day, but unfortunately, seeing as I classified this wet, it weighs about 50-60 pounds. So it's going to be a bit of a trek to take it back to camp to process, but I'm hoping that's like 20 pounds worth of gold in there. Sure, let's say that. Here we go. Final run for today. Yeah, that was a heavy bucket. Hopefully it's heavy full of gold. And right off the bat, it was the first scoop going in. Right there at the tip of my finger, I'll zoom in on that. It's got some texture to it. That's just pretty when you can see it right away. And there you have it. Lots of little tiny bits. Can't wait to see what the rest of the boxes go. Ooh, I even see some more over here. Wow. Cool. So after a full day of digging, that's what we got. Not too shabby for a single day. And we'll be back at it again tomorrow, so stay tuned. Got the whole crew out here for day 2. We're on a GPAA, Gold Prospectors Association of America claim today, trying our luck over here. We didn't bring much equipment today as we're more or less just scouting the area, but assuming that we find some good stuff, we'll come back with some equipment tomorrow. But for the time being, just got a pan and some basic hand tools. Oh boy, a lot of clay. Alright, so we got one puddle of water to share between the 4 of us. Think we can do it? Hopefully. I got good stuff. Maybe the camera can see that. I'll circle them if you can't see them. I see 2 little pieces. So as I'm walking around, I stumble across this wooden frame here. Kind of A-frame in design. I think this might have been somebody's like sluice box stand or a dry washer or something. Kind of neat, somewhat historical for this dry wash. I'm moving to another spot. The crack that I was working at over there didn't have a whole lot in it, so I'm gonna try somewhere up here. Who knows? Look at you, big beetle. That thing's bigger than a quarter. It's kind of creepy. Let's leave it alone. So as I'm coming to find out, this Arizona gold is really hard to chase. It's very much unlike anything I've worked with in the San Juan mountain range. It's very different, to say the least. It's a challenge, and honestly, I'm open to the challenge, just assuming I don't get skunked. I guess this is why it's called prospecting for gold and not finding gold. There's a fine line in between the two. So we had a little bit of luck down here, but as we're ending day 2, we're thinking about going back to Lynx Creek for day number 3. If we don't have any luck out there tomorrow, then we'll come back out here to the GPAA claim and see what we can find, but at least we found something, which is better than finding nothing. And here we are back for day 3. I guess it's safe to say where we are. We're at the Lynx Creek gold panning area. We got kind of busted yesterday. We thought we were outside of the property lines for doing the wash plant, so unfortunately a ranger came and visited us and we had to take everything down. Sad day. We're able to still take our gold pans and at least take buckets of stuff back to camp so we can process it. It's just about finding that good spot. So wish us better luck today. Okay, 1 pan, little bit of water. Let's see what it's got. And a pretty good first spot. Flag! Alright, I was starting to get a little hesitant there whether or not we'd find something, but I see gold. Little bits of gold. That's the most I've seen in today's pans. So keep working that spot. Might be a good one. So between my dad and I, we were able to dig a good 2-foot hole in the ground here. Started getting into some really gooey stuff. Hopefully that's where the gold is sitting in this river. But only way to know is to pan out the buckets that we have filled. So that'll be the next process. Alright, got through the full 5-gallon bucket. Check that out, ladies and gents. Aren't those pretty? And Dad over here has got a couple in his pan too. I'll pan his out and I'll show you what we got. And this right here was what was at the bottom of Dad's bucket. Cool. Yeah, we're really onto a spot, man. In other news, Greg's downstream digging through some bedrock, and my dad went back upstream. In this case it's south, downstream is north. He went upstream to get his brother, my Uncle Ole. Because we gotta be getting in on this stuff. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Alright, finding stuff. Always gives you that second wind. We might be out here for a few more hours, maybe until it gets dark, and then we'll put headlamps on and we'll continue working. Another pan and a dozen little other pieces. Just keeps producing. It's what we like to see. Nice. So how you doing over here?
Well, I'm getting down to the bottom of another bucket, Kyle.
Ooh.
we'll see what we got here. I got some sand in the corner. Got some interesting things in the, but we'll have to work it down to see what's finished.
Yeah, sweet. I'm crossing my fingers for you. And as the light dips lower on day number 3, the final pan of the day yielded some nice bits of color. And with that, we'll head back to camp for the day. I'll do a little bit of cleanup of the gold, but I'm still going to wait until day number 4, the final day. It kind of just depends upon how everybody's feeling. So I'm going to head on back to camp. You can see Ole there in the background is making his way back. Dad and Greg went back a little earlier because they heard some hooting and hollering off in the woods and back in the direction of our camp, so they went to go check it out, make sure that camp was a-okay. Also, before the day is done, I'd like to promote A&B Prospecting of Prescott Valley, Arizona. They helped make this trip possible as I picked up a couple more little tools while we were there. But after today, we saw a lot more color in our pans than what we have the past couple of days. So there is still gold here on Lynx Creek to be found, and we're finding it, little by little, but we're finding it. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, you ready for this? 4th and final day out here in Yavapai County. Today we decided to go back and check out the area that we were digging in yesterday. Having some pretty darn good luck so far. Snake on through the fence here. I was a dummy and didn't plug my camera in last night, so I decided to go down to the river and run one 5-gallon bucket through. And lo and behold, just because I left the camera up, the biggest piece of gold that we have found so far decided to pop up in the pan. It's a really beautiful piece, guys. Can't wait to show you. This river also has something in it that I haven't encountered in the San Juan mountain range along the Animas River yet. It has mercury in it. I was finding yesterday, we were pulling little flakes out of the river that they were silver and not gold in color. I had to ask Greg his professional opinion about all that, and he said that the miners used to use mercury in their processing of gold out in the river. And I can go in with a chemical process later on and separate the mercury from the gold so it's nice and sparkly and clean again. Snake through the fence again. We're back at the spot. So we'll get back to some digging. How's that sound? The hole that I was digging in had a little critter in it. It's about maybe that big around, but I didn't see it through all the muck and the mire. I saw something flittering around in the surface of the water and thought it was just a stick, so I scoop it up kind of like that. And all of a sudden it's a big bug and it's flailing its legs around. Of course I freak out and I toss the thing. Must have been the guardian of the nugget. A little bit more shiny. Make me happy. Out here on Lynx Creek, it sure is beautiful, but there's something kind of eerie about this place. Listen. It's quiet out here. I'm used to having to talk over a raging river, which I guess drops my defenses a little bit, because now that I'm out here, I'm a little bit on edge with all this quietness. On the flip side of the coin, it is peaceful. It is very peaceful, and it's beautiful out here too. It does kind of remind me of Colorado and the Pagosa Springs area more specifically. Pine tree forests and seasonal streams, some willows. Those might be aspens, cottonwoods. Yeah, those are cottonwoods for sure. But all this silence, man, it's got me on edge. Hey, check that out. It's a little lead bullet. Been seeing a lot of stuff like that in these pans. Lead bullets, BBs, all sorts of junk like that. Pretty cool. Historic trash. Here we go. Ooh, half a bucket of material. And some nice little sparklies. Can't tell if I'm chasing the gold or if I'm just finding it wherever I'm digging. I hope I'm in a good spot. Hard to say. Another bucket, another pan with some glitter. The downside is I'm getting tired really quick. Might not have a whole lot left in me. All right, one last bucket, and you can see this one's full. I can't get any more in it, even with the classifier getting shaken down. So hopefully today ends with a bang, and hopefully that bang is not my back. Bucket all cleaned out. An empty pan? Nah, it's all over here. I'm letting my dad do the final pan for the day. Nothing but good stuff in that pan, let me tell you. And there you go. Final bits for the day. Nice, teeny tiny little pickers amongst all that black sand. Cool. That was quite a bit of chunky gold in just that little pan there. Of course, you know, that was a 5-gallon bucket's worth of dirt in there as well. We'll take the snuffer bottle back to camp and see what we got. There's already talks about coming out here tomorrow for a 5th day of prospecting, so we'll just see how that works out. We all might be pretty exhausted after today. And based off of what we decide to do, I'll make sure to get plenty of pictures of the final cleanup as well as some weight if it ends up tipping the scale. I'm thinking it will. Gonna figure around maybe 0.1, 0.2 of a gram. We'll see how close I am at the end of the video. Well, welcome back, folks. We decided on only 4 days of prospecting. We spent yesterday as well as today just kind of cruising. We're packing up camp right now, and we're gonna be good reclamators in this particular case. Here at Lynx Creek, you can dig a hole, but they expect you to cover it back up when you're done. We're gonna take a handful of minutes out of our morning and fill up the hole that we dug. That way we're not creating a scar upon the land. It's a good thing to do. It's not perfect, but a good spring rain will cover all of this right back up, and you won't even know that we were here. Well, overall, guys, this was a very awesome weekend, relaxing to a point. It was nice being able to get out of Colorado and check out a little bit of Arizona. Of course, we did some touristy things while we were around town. You can't prospect the entire time, otherwise you'd just go home being worn out and exhausted, and nobody likes to feel that way after a vacation. I'll put up some pictures of the gold we found right now. Not a bad little haul. Obviously, you've done better, but it's okay. In a brand spanking new area, you need to kind of learn how everything flows downriver. And I had a great time with my friends and my family. Greg's very knowledgeable. He shared some great stories with us. Uncle Ole, my dad's brother. Nice stories too. A lot of great information. It's great to pick his brain about a lot of different things. And of course my dad. He's always a great person to hang around with. So with that being said, it's about time to wrap up this video, folks. Thank you so much for coming along on our adventure, and I hope you had just as much fun as we did out here. Now may God bless you, and you have a good night.